everybody.
Welcome to Chasing Africa Outdoors. Today we're gonna unbox a box that I've been anticipating. I'm sure most of you out there have heard of JES Reboring, and there's a lot of questions on the internet about it that he is kind of old school and people get anxious. They send him a gun and they don't hear from him and they're wondering if he's going to take his money. And so I thought I've wanted to send him some guns for several years, and so I thought I'd try it out, send him some guns so I could do a video and an unboxing of some different calibers that I wanted to try. I sent 4 Remington 700s out there to do into different calibers that we're gonna take to Africa probably. And so yeah, I'm anxiously anticipating open this, see how they look, and so I can tell you guys what kind of job he did.
Yep, and just a brief introduction. I am Stacy and this is Jamie, and we are a husband and wife hunting team, and we love Africa. We love chasing Africa, so hence the name Chasing Africa. And we are just jumping on the scene and starting our own, hopefully podcast, hopefully following, hopefully merch, and hopefully some excursions where you can join us on some trips to Africa. So let's get to it. I'm excited.
Yeah, you might kind of wonder why I
Yes.
look like an idiot.
Not an idiot. Cute.
But we'll get to that as the video progresses to explain why I'm dressed like Teddy Roosevelt. So
yeah.
Woolen, you ready to unbox it?
I'm ready. I can't wait.
All right, we'll see what this looks like.
Okay.
I had given him a call, and yeah, just like everybody else, I had a hard time getting a hold of him, and we played phone tag a little bit, and yeah, he's real old school. You just call him, you leave him a message, and
He
then
doesn't even have a cell phone, right?
No, he uses a landline, and I think he I don't know what kind of shop he has, but it seems like it's kind of out of his garage, and I've heard really good things about him, and that the guns shoot really good when they come back, and we'll see what calibers we got. And
Wrapped up nice. Got a lot of
yeah,
padding
lots of
there.
padding in there. Let's see what we got here.
So exciting.
Let's see what we got. We got all kinds of
Are you
stuff.
picking and choosing what you're gonna
Yeah,
show
we
first?
gotta kind of go in an order
I
here
see.
to kind of see how this is gonna work. Let's see what we got here. This was a 7mm Magnum, and oh wow, he stamped it in there. It looks pretty good.
What do you mean he stamped it in
He
there?
stamped in the new caliber here.
Okay.
It's right above the serial number there. And he did leave the old 7mm mag. That's what it was in its old life, was a 7mm mag. So he did leave that, which really doesn't hurt. But if you're gonna take it to Africa, you're gonna have to smooth that out. I'll probably have a gunsmith. Actually, what we're gonna do is this afternoon we're gonna take all 4 of these guns to a gunsmith up in Sioux Falls, and he's gonna do some glass bedding and some bedding work.
Why would we have to take that off again?
To go to Africa, that'll have to come off because when you go through SAPs, they're gonna look at your barrel, and then your ammunition won't match the caliber of the barrel.
Oh yeah.
So when I take this to the gunsmith, I'll have him take the writing off that says 7mm, but he's got this one is rechambered to a 358 Shooting Times Alaskan. And I'm sure not very many of you have heard of that. It's kind of a oddball. It was created in 1992 for guys to go to Alaska to hunt brown bear and moose, and so, but I thought I would build one to take to Africa. It's a 8mm Remington Magnum, and it's bored up to 358, and so it's a full length 375 H&H cartridge, blown out and neck down to 358 shooting times Alaskan. And we'll just kind of see what he did here. On the bottom of the barrel, he's got it stamped what the twist rate is. It's 1 in 12 twists, so that should work great for the whole range of bullet weights. I think I'm gonna try 180 grain for the smaller plains game, and then load some, if I can get some, they're kind of hard to get, some 280 grain Swift A-frames for eland, and some places on private ranches you could use it for Cape Buffalo. So it's not legal for Cape Buffalo on public ground or like in Zimbabwe, but on private ranches you could use it. So we'll see. Looks like the crown is really nice, and yeah, it looks like he did a good job. That's nice that he punched on the bottom what the twist rate is, so you know what kind of bullets you can use. So that one looks pretty good.
Awesome.
Oh, he did cross out the 7 on the 7mm mag.
I see that.
He put a little X on the 7 to cross out the 7, but yeah, like I said, if you're in the States, that wouldn't hurt anything, but go to Africa, we're gonna have to file that off so that when you go through customs, they aren't confused about what caliber the rifle is. So, and then let's see what else we got.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This one's kind of crazy looking.
Oh my gosh. Is that the one that I got you for Christmas?
Yep. See, it's somebody got a little crazy. And here's the stock. Here's the stock that goes with.
I got this for him for Christmas. I thought it was very unique, and I'm surprised him. He had no idea.
I saw this at a gun store up in Sioux Falls. It's got a.
You got to get a close up of the cowboy.
It's got a cowboy riding a bull carved into the cheek piece there, and then. They actually had the scope. It had a really crappy scope on it. The scope was painted the same, and the floor plate is painted, and it sat there for quite a while, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And so the end of the barrel, the barrel is cut down to, I believe it's 18 inches and painted, and it was a 30-06 in its old life. And I took it home, and it sat around for a while because I tried shooting it and I couldn't get it to shoot good. I adjusted the trigger, put a different scope on it, and I still couldn't get it to shoot good. So I'm not sure if the bedding was bad because it's original Remington 700 bedding, or I thought, he had recrowned it, and because he cut the barrel off, and the crown that was on it looked pretty bad. So what I did is I thought that would be a perfect one to get rebored out, because then it would fix the crown. And in Iowa, you can hunt with the 35 Whalen, which that's what this one's rebored to.
That's a fairly new thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 years ago in Iowa, they changed some laws that you can not just hunt with straight wall cartridges, but you can hunt with any rifle over 35 caliber. So I thought this would be a fun one to do, and it'd be great because it's cut down to 18 inches. It'd be great for hunting in the trees in Iowa, and so I thought that'd be a lot of fun. And I'm gonna take it to Sioux Falls to a gunsmith and have them rebed the action. And I talked to JES about making sure the crown was good, and I see he did that. He fixed the crown up really nice. He did a nice job on that. That looks really
That's
good. And so hopefully it'll be a real shooter now. So, and again, he had it stamped on the bottom of the barrel, 1 in 14 for 1 in 14 twist. So that surprises me just a little bit that he put a 1 in 14 in the 35 Whalen, and a 1 in 12 in the 358. So he must expect that you're going to use heavier bullets in the 358. So that was really, I'm impressed with that, because normally with a 35 caliber he would have used the same twist rate in both, and he went with the faster twist in the 358. That way it works better for the longer, heavier bullets, like I was saying, for the 200 grain or 280 grain Swift A-frame. That's going to be a long bullet, so that's great, because usually with a 35 Whelen you'd probably stop at 225 or maybe go up to 250. So the 1 in 14 would be perfect for that. So yeah, that's really nice. I'm sure most of you have heard about the 35 Whelen, but that was created in 1922, and it's just a 30-06 necked up to 35. And yeah, I think that'll be a really, really, really nice deer rifle in Iowa. So
Awesome.
That's exciting. Those two both look really nice.
Great.
Now these two other ones, they also started out life as a 30-06. And that's going to explain to you why I'm dressed like Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay, why are you dressed like Teddy Roosevelt?
Most of you, maybe haven't heard of this caliber, but I'm really, really excited about these. One of these is for Stacy, and one of them's going to be for me. And we're going to take them to Africa and see how they do on everything from plains game to, I'm hoping Stacy will get to shoot a buffalo and maybe even an elephant with it. So, because this caliber is legal in Zimbabwe and Namibia and Mozambique for hunting the Big Five.
Now, I've taken a 30-06 before. How is this one going to be different than that one?
It shoots a lot heavier bullet.
Okay.
It's still it's in the 30-06 family. It's not based on the 30-06. It's not really based on any caliber specifically. It was actually born a year before the 30-06 was born.
Oh.
And born in 1905. And
Grandpa was born in 1904, so I like history, so that's pretty cool.
The 30-06 started as a 30-03, and so my speculation is that this caliber was based on the 30-03, but it's a German cartridge, and so nobody's going to admit it, that I think it probably came from the 30-03 originally. Mm-hmm. So, but this cartridge is the 9.3 by 62, and it is 62 millimeter long, and it's got the 9.3 designation, so that it's a European cartridge. It's not an American cartridge.
Okay.
So
does that make a difference? Is it harder to get that, or I mean,
Well, it's becoming fairly popular here. A lot of people use it in Africa and Australia and Europe. It went very unpopular for a while because it was created in 1905. Mm-hmm. And through the wars, of course, nobody wanted, through World War I and World War II, nobody would be caught with a cartridge made from Germany.
I see.
So it became very unpopular, and so the Brits decided to invent the 375 H&H, and that came out in 1911. And so after that, it took a long time for anybody to really have much to do with the 9.3. The 9.3 was created originally for the settlers in Africa because they had lots of 8mm Mausers, and they could get them really cheap, and the people there, we have whitetails and elk, and we hunt, we have coyotes that we have issues with, or raccoons. Well, the settlers in Africa, they had to deal with lions and elephants and hyenas, and they needed a caliber that they could hunt lion and elephant and Cape buffalo that were in their crops or were killing their cattle or goats, and they needed something that could shoot a heavy enough bullet that would put those animals down.
They had to be accurate too.
Yeah.
Because you may have only had one shot.
So
saying.
So they could take old refurbished 8mm Mausers and just have them rebarreled to this 9.3 by 62, and they could it shoots a 286 grain bullet around 2,300 feet per second. And Dr. Kevin Robertson, many of you are probably familiar with him. His big thing is, I don't agree with everything Kevin says, but his big thing is, if it shoots a .305 sectional density bullet at 2150, it's really good enough for hunting the big animals. You'll get the penetration for buffalo and elephant, and this shoots a 286 grain bullet, which is 0.305 sectional density, and it shoots at 2300. So the penetration is awesome. Actually, quite often the penetration will be better than the 375 H&H because the velocity is just a little lower in the bullets, so the bullet stays a little more stable as it's going through the elephant's skull, or whatever it needs to go through, the shoulder of a buffalo. Or
I might be opening up a can of worms, but what kind of bullets? This is like an ongoing thing. Like, we always talk about bullets, and
yeah.
But what kind of bullet would we be putting in these? Do you think?
Back in the day, they shot mostly Kynoch ammo, and it would have been with a 286 grain solid. Nowadays, you can get Swift A-frames. They're terrible hard to get, but you can get a Swift A-frame. You can get North Fork, which is, I believe they moved to Sweden a few years ago, and they're really starting to come online, and they have some great bullets. The Barnes X bullet,
which we've taken before, right?
Yeah, we're Barnes fanboys. Yeah. So the problem with the 9.3x62, if you keep the overall length where it needs to be, the Barnes bullets are pretty long because it gets into the powder capacity. But what I'm hoping I can do is with the Remington Action's really long. And I asked Jess when I sent it out to get rebored if it had quite a bit of throat, and he said it's the European type of throat, so it's got a really long throat. So I'm hoping I can use the Barnes bullets and really have a long overall length to keep the velocity up. So I'm just excited. The Barnes X bullets would be great in it. The Swift A-frames, the Norfolk. I'm really excited. I bought some North Fork bullets. I'm really excited to give those a try.
Is that new? We haven't tried those.
No, we haven't tried those. Yeah. And it was a pretty small company, but they moved to Sweden and they really stepped up production.
Interesting.
And the Swift, everybody knows the Swift bullet is just fantastic. It's just, ever since COVID, the supply hasn't met demand. It seems like they're always running a little behind, and I'm sure that's got to do with some labor issues and stuff, since COVID. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a 1 in 12 twist, so that's about perfect for the 9.3x62. That's kind of the standard. And again, the muzzle looks great, and I'm just really excited to get that in a stock and see how it does. And this is another
one more?
Yep.
Last one.
There's one more, and it is the same as the first one. Or excuse me, the same as the last one. It's another 9.3x62 because I really wanted to build one, and I thought, Stacy can get kind of possessive of her rifles. She's like, that's my rifle. So
just a little bit.
So I thought, I'm sending them out there, and I had an extra 30-06 in the Remington, and yeah, so I got another one just like it, and it's pretty exciting.
Identical, right?
Yeah, they're identical. They're both 30-06s in the old life, and now they're got the same twist rate, the same. He marked it the same. He does a pretty nice job of marking it, but again, to go to Africa, it's going to have that. He scratched through it, but that's not going to be good enough. We're going to have to sand that down and try and put a little bluing or something on that to change that. And I actually had some 9.3 barrels. And excuse me, if these don't shoot real well, I'll get them rebarreled. But I thought before I rebarreled them, I wanted to give Jess a try. I really wanted I was excited, really excited to send him some stuff, and
it looks like you did a great job.
it looks like he did a great job. We'll see how they shoot. And one thing people don't like about the Remington action is the thumbnail extractor in there. And I've shot thousands and thousands, and I've shot an elephant and buffalo and lion, using a Remington 700 action. But what I am gonna do, I had a couple of them done that they put the M16 style extractor in it, and that's another video that we'll do. I found a local machine shop that would take my 700 bolts and mill a M16 style extractor into them, and we bought a little tool from Pacific Tool to do that, and I got the kits in. So first we're going to get them bedded into actions and see how they shoot, and then I'm going to take the bolts up there and have him take out the little fingernail extractor, which I'm sure you can't see, but most of you guys, if you're familiar with those, and that's probably the weakest part of the Remington action. So yeah, I'm excited, and so we're going to take them up there and get them bedded into stocks, and we'll do another video when we find out how they shoot.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's going to be fun. And so, yep, that's why I'm just like Teddy Roosevelt. It was built in 1905, and it was for the settlers in in Africa, and that's kind of the heyday of before the First World War. That was kind of the heyday of the 9.3 by 62 and the 375s and all that stuff coming out, because before that everything was heavy side by sides, and that the 9.3 by 62 is one of the first cartridges designed for smokeless powder. So it's cool. We're both kind of into the history of things. Yes. And it's not super pizzazz like a PRC or something that's built to shoot 800 yards. These are going to be 150 yard, 200 yard rifles. 300 yard probably kind of maximum, but
with some character.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll when we get them put together, we'll have a video of that. Because the stocks we're going to use are going to kind of have some character too. So
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that in our video, but yeah, I'm not into the sleek, like scratch-free, like perfect guns, rifles. I like the history. I like the dents and dings and scratches, because to me, it tells a story, and I appreciate that. But we'll talk about it later and digress a bit.
Yeah. We could have, there are companies that make, other than the 358 Shooting Times Alaskan, which is a standardized cartridge, but it's pretty rare. It was a Wildcat, but it's standardized now. And other than that, you can get factory rifles in the 9.3 by 62 and the 35 Whelen. And we could have went that way, but so many of the new rifles, I just don't feel like have any soul to them. So I like to take these older rifles. These rifles, looking at the serial numbers, were made in the 60s, 70s.
Love that.
This one, maybe the 80s. I'd have to pull up the barrel code, but that's
that's becoming antique-ish.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves a little bit, but even the 80s is getting to be an older rifle, and I enjoy working with those and enjoy the stocks, and things were just put together a little different back then.
Yeah, for sure.
So
the quality is.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Great.
We're going to have a good time with this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for tuning into our channel or to our page or whatever we're calling it these days. And we appreciate it. And if you like us, please give us a like and please share our video. And we'll be doing more as we grow this Chasing Africa business. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future videos. Have a great day.
Yep, thank you, and you have a great day.
Thanks.